My girlfriend dumped me because I wouldn't let her comfort her ex at his mom's funeral. Now she wants to cheat on him with me because her gold digger plan failed. I was dating Lena, 27 years old, for almost 2 years. We lived together for one. Things were going fine, not perfect, but no red flags either. Then last month hit me like a communist parade. I've never seen so many red flags in my life. It all started when she casually told me, "Oh, by the way, Brian's mom died. I'm thinking of going to the funeral to comfort him." I just stared at her, like, what? Let me give you some background. Brian is her ex, they were together for nearly 5 years. So yeah, there's history. They broke up around a year before she and I met. But there was always something off. So when she told me she wanted to go to the funeral, I looked her in the eye and said, "No. I'm not okay with this. I'm not a controlling guy. I don't tell people what to do. But I have boundaries." And going to her ex's funeral, not as a family friend, but as emotional support, crosses a line. This isn't just grief. It's opening a door that should be shut, sealed, and dropped into the ocean. You'd think I accused her of murder. She called me cold, heartless, said he had no one and she had to be there. I told her, "What are you, his therapist? His wife? No, you're my girlfriend. Or at least I thought you were." I added, "If you feel like this is something you need to do, then you need to understand what it does to us. I'm not okay with it." She stormed out, spent the night at a friend's, didn't come back the next day. Sent me one message: "I can't believe you're making me choose between being a good person and staying in this relationship." I didn't reply. I didn't make her choose anything. I drew a boundary, and she stepped over it. 3 days later, she dumped me over text. No joke. 2 years gone in one message. I need to be with someone who understands my heart. I'm sorry. Please don't make this uglier than it has to be. That "don't make it ugly" part really got me. Like she wasn't the one blowing everything up just to play emotional lifeline for her ex whatever. I moved on. Packed her stuff, left it in the guest room. Told her she had a week to pick it up or I'd drop it at her mom's. A week passed, nothing. Then I heard from a mutual friend. Not only did she go to the funeral, she sat front row next to Brian, giving full grieving widow energy. Then apparently, she went back to his place that night, and just stayed. So yeah, looks like I got left for a guy who scored thanks to his mom dying. But here's where it gets juicy. A friend from another circle messaged me, "Hey, did you know Lena and Brian are back together?" I said no. He said, "Bro, they're acting like a couple again. She's telling everyone it's some deep reconnection. But everyone else? They're saying she's only doing it because Brian's family has money." I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Turns out Brian's mom had a little money, but his dad is loaded. Old money. Properties. Investments. Everything. Word is, Lena's been hanging around the house since the funeral, playing perfect support, cooking, wearing cute dresses, playing the manipulative housewife card. Still, I didn't want to believe it. For all our issues, Lena never seemed like the gold digger type. Until, about 2 weeks ago, someone sent me a screenshot of her Instagram story. She's standing in a huge kitchen I've never seen, granite countertops, a massive wine fridge. Caption: "Grateful for where life is taking me, sparkles bottle with popping cork." I confirmed it, that kitchen belongs to Brian's dad. That's when it hit me. She didn't leave me for Brian. She left me for the possibility of becoming a millionaire's daughter-in-law. And guess what? Her plan backfired. Apparently, Brian's dad caught on, maybe someone told him, maybe he just knew. Word is, he found out Lena had been telling people she already saw herself as part of the family. So what did he do? Not only did he reject her, he disinherited Brian. Told him flat out, "You can live with your little scammer, but you'll never see a cent of my money. Not now, not ever." And now? Now Lena's trying to crawl back to me like nothing happened. Like she didn't run off chasing a check, came back empty, and wants to pick up where we left off. I'm saving her messages in case she tries anything else. She's either the dumbest person I've ever dated, or the most manipulative. But get this. Last night, 1:17 a.m., she texts, "I miss our mornings." I didn't reply. She really thought I'd take her back just because her gold digger dreams crashed? Not a chance. Update 1. Remember how I said she texted me at 1:17 a.m. saying she missed our mornings? That wasn't a drunk text. That was her opening move. I hadn't replied. There was nothing to say. She'd have to be real dumb to think I'd fall for her tricks. 2 days later, I'm in the middle of a workout and her name pops up again, this time it's a voice note. Her voice is soft, trying to sound thoughtful and mature. She says she's been thinking a lot. That grief messes with your mind. That she made a mess trying to find closure. I swear to you, she actually said that, trying to find closure, to justify dumping me, running off to live with her ex, trying to squeeze money from his family. Then she adds, "I'm not saying I made the best decisions, but I miss you and I think about you more than I should. Hi, I hope you're doing well." I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Yeah, I bet she's not. She left me because I said no. What does she expect now? A warm welcome? You chose a guy who once sent you a dick pic as a birthday surprise over me, just because his dad had a summer house and a financial advisor. And now that your sugar daddy fantasy blew up in your face, I'm the safe bet? The backup plan so you don't end up with nothing? And then it got worse. She showed up at my job. I work at an office downtown. No, it's not some huge company, but we don't take walk-in clients either, so you can't just stroll in. I get a reception ping, "Hi, there's a woman named Lena asking for you," she says it's personal. I told them I didn't know her and not to let her in. I thought that was the end of it. But no, she stayed in the lobby for over an hour. I ended up leaving through the back door. A coworker, Anna, bless her, saw her pacing like an NPC and said, "Isn't that the one who left you for her ex? She looks like she's either about to cry or commit a felony, depends on how the coin lands." That line actually made me laugh. And when I got home, there was a damn letter taped to my door. Taped good, too, like enough to withstand a hallway draft. It reeked of perfume. And desperation. It smelled like manipulation in spray form. I'll summarize the most ridiculous parts. She wrote that Brian had changed, that now he's clingy and emotionally immature, and that she made a bad decision because she saw him suffering and her instincts made her comfort him. Right. The guy looked like a wet chick and she decided to jump into his bed to take care of her rooster. Then she says that once she saw who he really was, it reminded her why they broke up in the first place, and she realized she would never find something like what we had. And here's where it gets even more absurd. She says she regrets pushing me away, but she understands if I hate her. That she just misses what we had and wants to talk with no pressure. If she really understood, she wouldn't be stalking me. The last line said, "If I could go back to that night when you told me not to go to the funeral, I'd stay in the apartment and crawl into bed with you." Well, you didn't. So finally, I sent her one message to end it all. Just one line, "If you know I hate you, you should leave me alone and move on with your life." She left it on read for a few days. So I blocked her, because there was nothing left to say. And that should have been the end of it. But guess what? It wasn't. It got worse. This morning, I got a message request on Instagram from a private account with no posts. The DM said, "You're the only thing in my life. We need to talk face to face, that's how we'll know if there's still chemistry between us." She just can't grasp a simple truth: you made your choices, now live with them. And the cherry on top? Remember the inheritance Elena was aiming for? Turns out the house, the accounts, the trust, all of it has been in Brian's younger sister's name for years. Apparently, when the dad realized Brian was too easy to manipulate, he moved everything over. Lena must have thought that with the mom gone, things would change. But nope, not the case. More updates to come if she does anything else insane. Update 2. Remember when I said I blocked her everywhere? I forgot one thing. LinkedIn. Yeah, freaking LinkedIn was my Trojan horse. In my defense, I didn't expect emotional messages on that platform. But she messaged me there. It popped up while I was checking recruiter emails. Her profile photo is one of those fake professional shots, and her bio says, marketing strategist. Vision-driven. Results-focused. Should probably add, tried to scam an inheritance. Didn't work out. The message said, I know you probably don't want to hear from me, but please, I just want to talk. You don't even have to respond. Just read this. She starts by saying she's not trying to win me back, that she only wants closure and a safe space to explain everything. Says she's in therapy now, journaling, doing deep emotional work. Slides in a line about how losing Brian's mom triggered old wounds and made her act from fear instead of love. I read all that with the most deadpan face, wondering, if you're not trying to get me back, why are you so desperate to change how I see what you did? Me thinking that rubbing Brian's magic lamp didn't grant your wish changes nothing in your life. But at least I blocked her there too, and didn't respond. Still, the floodgates were open. Within 48 hours, I get a text message from an unknown number that just says, she really misses you. Probably one of her friends. My buddy told me she messaged him asking if I was dating someone. He didn't reply either. Today, I see new accounts liking my posts on Instagram. I know it's her. So finally, I had enough. I sent one last message, if you contact me again through any means or person, I will file a harassment report. Leave me alone. I don't care about you anymore. I've moved on. It's time you did too. She replied in under 5 minutes. Wow. So this is who you are now? 2 years of my love and now you're a vengeful man? No, I'm a man who watched you swing from me to your ex for money, and now that you're alone, broke, and your fairy tale fell apart, you want me to be your emotional rescue. I didn't do anything. I've just been living my life without thinking about you. And that clearly bothers you, that I'm not waiting with open arms saying, yes, baby, I'll take you back, after you rubbed up on your ex for money. But if you thought my story couldn't get any crazier, you haven't heard the best part. Brian messaged me. Sends me a weird direct message, half apologizing. Hey man, I know things got messy. Just wanted to say no hard feelings. I think we were both kind of misled. I didn't know if it was a trap, sarcasm, or just pathetic. But then he added, I don't even know who I'm living with anymore. She's not the same person. So yeah, confirmed, they're still living together, and apparently now she's making his life hell too. She's trying to cheat on him with me. And here comes the moment that made me double lock my door and start checking my rearview mirror. She showed up at my apartment. Not in the lobby. At my door. Knocked for 15 minutes. I didn't answer. I watched her through the peephole, pacing back and forth like a lunatic. Then she slid another letter under my door. She wrote that she didn't expect me to be so cruel, like everyone else in her life. That she thought I was different. That all men eventually abandon her. And then, I'm not even kidding, she wrote, you're going to regret letting this go. I was your person. You just didn't see it. That letter, I'm keeping. I guess it's time to file a harassment complaint. I talked to the building manager, told him what was going on, asked if there were any cameras near my unit, and filed a basic report, just to have it on record in case I go through with the complaint. I don't think she's violent. But she's clearly desperate and unhinged. Update 3. I said in the last update I was going to file harassment charges. I haven't even had to. She's doing all the work for me. Honestly, she's doing a better job ruining her life than I ever could. So after that little "you'll regret letting me go" letter, I filed a police report. But that wasn't what led to her self-destruction. Now she's going around saying that she's cheating on Brian with me, except she's not. Let me explain. Last weekend, I went to a rooftop party hosted by a friend. Good vibes, free drinks, I started feeling like myself again. I posted a couple stories, nothing crazy, just a skyline photo and a selfie with some friends. Not even an hour later, I got a DM from a fake account. The account only followed me. So yeah, you already know where this is going. It said, "You looked good tonight. I bet you still taste like cinnamon toothpaste." That was a line she used to joke about. No one else would know that. I called a friend who was still at the party and asked if Lena had shown up. She hadn't, but someone matching her description, hoodie and sunglasses, was standing outside near the valet for about 30 minutes before leaving. I blocked the fake account. 3 days later, I got another message from a different fake profile. This time it said, "If I told you I'm not sleeping with him, would it matter? She's living with Brian. She sleeps in the same house as the guy she left me for. And now she wants to use that as if she's doing me a favor." I ignored it. I'm not taking the bait and giving her another inch. And then it escalated. I got home Wednesday night and there was a package at my door. I brought it inside and opened it like I was defusing a bomb. Inside was a hoodie, my hoodie, one she took when she left. Still smelled like her perfume. In the front pocket was a note, "I wore it every night. Proof of how deep my love for you runs. My body may belong to Brian now, but my soul still thinks of you." I nearly tossed the box right then. But before I did, I checked the bottom, there was more. A pair of underwear with a note that said, "There's no greater sign that I belong to you." If I were watching a horror movie right now, I'd be screaming at the main character, "Your psycho ex is behind you with a chainsaw." But it still didn't stop me from looking over my shoulder. That same night, I got a call from an unknown number. It rang twice, went to voicemail. I listened. It was her. Crying. Saying everything's falling apart. That Brian is cruel, controlling. That he threw a glass at the wall during a fight. She said she feels trapped in a house that hates her. Then she says, "You're the only one who truly loved me. If there's any part of you that remembers what it felt like to hold me, please just call me." No. There isn't any part of me that remembers what it felt like to hold her. Now here comes the part where things get a little wild on my end. Brian showed up at my job. Yeah. Full circle. Reception called again. "There's a man named Brian here asking for you." I told them to say I was busy. He left a note at the front desk, "Call me. We need to compare timelines." I thought about it for a day. Then I gave in. I messaged him, "You've got 5 minutes. Don't make me regret this." He called immediately. He said he found the messages Elena had been sending me, from his phone, while she was in the shower. Brian was furious. And not because he loves her. He's pissed because she used him. Made him look like a fool in front of his own family. And now she's out there trying to cheat on him emotionally with her ex while still eating his food and sleeping in his damn guest bed. He told her she had until the weekend to leave. And what did she do? She packed a bag, told him she had options, and walked out. Where did she go? No idea. Update 4. I'm honestly kind of scared. After Brian kicked her out, I thought she'd go cry to a friend, maybe stay at her sister's place for a while, and keep trying to reel me back in with sad messages from fake accounts. I was wrong. She didn't go to a friend's. She showed up at my building at 3 in the morning. But this time, not at my door. She was across the street. Just standing there. I live on the 4th floor, and from my window I can see the street. I was half asleep when I got up to grab some water and happened to glance outside. And there she was. She wasn't carrying anything. Just standing there, staring at my building. I watched her for about 30 seconds, she didn't move, didn't blink, didn't shift. Finally, I turned off the light and backed away, heart pounding like crazy. I waited. Checked the clock. 10 minutes. 15. Then she walked away. The next morning, I checked the building cameras with the front desk guy. And yeah, she had been there for 3 nights in a row. Walking back and forth in front of the building. Sitting on the curb. Leaving. Coming back. Sometimes for hours. I added all of this to the original police report, along with the security footage copies. And here's where it gets even creepier. I got a text message from another new number. Attached was a photo. It was a photo of me at the gas station near my work. I wasn't looking at the camera. Just filling my tank. Someone took the picture from far away, like from a car or across the street. The text said, "You look happier when you don't know I'm there." And yeah, obviously, of course I'm happier when I don't have a psycho stalking me. I called the police again. They must be sick of me by now. I can just imagine them saying, "It's that guy again, the one with the horror movie X." I don't know what they're going to do yet. They always say they've logged the complaint and will investigate. At least now there's a restraining order in process. But apparently that takes time if there's no immediate threat. I gave them Brian's number too, because he's the only other person who knows what she's like when she spirals. And he told me something that chilled me. Apparently, when she left his house, it wasn't calm like I thought. She trashed the guest room. Smashed photo frames. Poured wine on the carpet. Smeared lipstick on the mirror and wrote, "F*** you for being such a piece of s***. She was one hamburger away from full meltdown mode. The only thing missing was leaving a stinky souvenir on the bed. He says he's staying with his sister now until Elena is officially out of his life. Both of us are just trying to purge Elena from our existence. Sometimes I think maybe I wish it had worked out with Brian, at least then she would have left me alone for good." The last thing she did? She dropped off a USB drive. It's a video of her rambling. She says she's tired. That she feels invisible. She talks about Brian, how he used her. Talks about me, how I rejected her when she needed someone to lean on. She starts crying halfway through. Then she laughs, this unhinged laugh, like she's about to conquer the world. And then she says, "One day someone's going to ask you what happened to me. And you're going to say you don't know. But you will know." End of recording. I handed this new video to the police, who are now finally taking things a bit more seriously. It doesn't matter that she's left multiple things at my door, or that she stands outside in the middle of the night watching where I live. The second she suggested she might hurt herself, they started doing something. Before that, it was like they thought, "Oh, just a crazy girl in love. Nothing we can do." I don't know where this is going. Maybe she'll be arrested. Maybe institutionalized. But the best possible outcome for me right now is that they get her off the streets. The only thing I hope is that they do it before she blows up Manhattan with a bomb. Update 5. My ex is now in police custody and receiving psychiatric treatment, awaiting a determination on whether she will stand trial for harassment charges or be transferred to a mental health facility. The important thing is that she's currently unable to hurt anyone, not even herself, at least until her legal situation is resolved. At this point, I don't even care what route justice takes, as long as she's not out on the streets and free to pull some stunt, whether it's against me, against herself, or someone else. The police found her at her sister's house, who had no idea what was going on. She thought Elena had just been out with friends when she was actually standing outside my apartment at night. Or that she was a bit down after breaking up with 2 guys in such a short time. They also found new evidence of harassment, things I haven't been shown yet, but that could be presented in a possible trial. If it's determined that she's not mentally fit to stand trial, the evidence will simply be sealed and she'll be sent for treatment. But yeah, it's scary, to see how someone you were with for so long can spiral this far. She was never obsessive or compulsive. She never showed signs of depression while we were together. Now, is this bad enough for me to swear off dating forever? No. But I'm definitely taking my time before getting into anything again. Update 6. My ex-girlfriend has now been tried and sentenced to 18 months in a low-security prison. The judge found no evidence, based on psychiatric evaluations, that she was mentally unfit to stand trial. This was partly due to a letter she had written but never sent to me. In her room, they found a notebook full of notes about my routines, my schedule, my commute to work, everything. There were also a couple of videos she had planned to send me, one of them a bit explicit. But the most damning thing was the letter, in which she confessed that she wasn't actually crazy, she had been pretending. Faking it. As a defense mechanism, and to get my sympathy, so I would give her another chance. I got to read that letter, since it was accepted as evidence in the trial. The professionals also told the judge that she didn't show any signs of mental instability. Even while in prison, she'll continue to be evaluated by a professional, but the conclusion was clear, she was not unfit for trial. That doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with her, though. These past few months have been rough. But I'm honestly just glad I can finally put all of this behind me.